Okay, boys and girls, come on in, sit down. Yeah, everybody's here. Okay. Tom, yeah, you just sit in the back. We're all fine. We're all fine. Okay, yeah. This is No Holds Barred. Yes. No. Where are you going? Don't leave. This is No Holds Barred podcast. Get the fuck back here. Justin, I tried.
You tried. You did a good job. It was a valiant effort, but I guess too many people were just too hyped about Olympic luge quarterfinals that they just had to run away and couldn't join us to be a part of episode number 28.
Oh, 28
of the No Holds Barred podcast.
Almost to 30.
Exactly. We're almost. You know what? We're almost to 30, and you are 30, but I'm almost to 30.
And WrestleMania 30.
And WrestleMania 30. Like there's
a whole bunch of 30s.
A ton of 30s coming up. You know what? When we hit No Holds Barred episode 30, so like in like a month or something like that, then we should just dedicate a whole show to talking about things that 30-year-olds talk about. So like politics and taxes and
I hate taxes.
How we're not getting laid anymore.
I hate taxes.
Exactly. I hate taxes. That's the only thing that can possibly be said there is, but I hate taxes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a jam-packed show here for you. We have one huge thing that we're going to talk about, which is the AskMen.com's annual list of the top 99 most desirable women in the world. It's probably a pretty contentious list, certainly judging by who is in the number 99 spot, the very first one that we're going to get to talk about. But we're going to have a whole bunch of other stuff to talk about in this show. Before we get going, as always, we're going to kick things off with a total fan favorite segment. We're going to kick things off with the No Holds Barred Taste Test.
Are we?
We're going to go for it. We have... Nick cheers as he walks away to get the beer. Of course, if you've never watched the show before, the No Holds Barred Taste Test, we take a beer from some part of the world, maybe from Canada sometimes if a new one comes out that we haven't tried. Like Alexander Keith's is doing their like hops series, and I haven't gotten to try any of them yet. So maybe we might have to do that for next time.
I was thinking of it, but then I was like, what is this awesome stuff?
Exactly. So Nick picked us up a beer which you said was from Italy or Ireland?
I think Italy.
In Italy?
If I can remember right.
All right. Well, along the top of the can here, it says brewed in Ireland.
Really? Okay, this is from Ireland.
All right. So it's an Irish beer.
It's something.
Exactly.
It's iRobot.
One of those iRobot. You know what? iRobot, before we even get into the taste test now, I kind of liked that movie. I didn't like it at first. Like the first time I watched it, I was like, I really like sci-fi, but I think this is garbage and Will Smith sucks in this. But I've watched it like 4 or 5 times since then. I'm just kind of like, I kind of like this movie now.
Well, it's kind of like the RoboCop movies.
Kind of, yeah.
You have to rewatch them a few times before they actually start to grow on you.
Yeah, and you can't really take it seriously, I guess, because it's like, it is trying to be a little kind of weighty and dramatic, but it's kind of intended to be funny too.
Yeah.
So it was one of those movies that just like sometimes you watch a movie, you really don't like it at first, and then you watch it a few times and it grows on you. So iRobot's one of those movies for me. Anyways, let's get back to the fucking taste test here.
Okay. I'm excited for this.
Exactly. So Nick, tell us a little bit about this beer that you've picked for us.
I don't know. Apparently, the Harp World and Harp Device are trademarks.
Ooh, okay. That makes sense. The name of the beer is Harp.
Yes.
It's a lager, and it says here from the makers of Guinness.
From the makers of Guinness.
Ooh.
I did not read that when I was making my decision.
Oh, nice. Which is actually really good for this kid, because this kid fucking this kid gets horny when you say Guinness. Like this dude loves Guinness like you read about.
I got a lump in my pants right now.
Exactly. He's got half a chubby right now. So let's pop this open and do an official No Holds Barred taste test.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
So it's got a good open. Yeah, it's got a good open. Actually got a nice little smell to it. For a lager, you know.
It does. It kind of got it's a mix between, I want to say, a Budweiser and a little bit of a Guinness smell to it.
Yeah, a little, which I suppose makes sense from the makers of Guinness, but yeah, fair enough. All right, sir. Cheers.
Cheers, sir.
All right. Let's go. No holds barred taste test.
I would still choose Guinness.
Yeah, fair enough. It's got a little spike to it. And it's got a little now the aftertaste is not terrible. I've tasted a lot worse in terms of an aftertaste for a beer than you've got from this. It does remind me quite a bit of Guinness. Like it gives me the same, not the same, but like a similar kind of palate to Guinness. Like you said, if you're making the choice would still obviously be Guinness.
Oh, for sure.
But you know what? I'm willing to give this a pass.
Yeah.
It's worth. It's definitely worth trying, especially if you're a fan of Guinness and for whatever reason you can't get Guinness where you are, like either they're sold out or whatever. If you can get a Harp, Harp would be a serviceable replacement for Guinness. So
Harp Lager.
Harp Lager, a serviceable replacement for Guinness.
Good.
From the makers of Guinness. Yeah, it'll get you drunk. We got to come up with an actual rating system for this. Like either it'll get you drunk, it won't get you drunk, or because you won't be able to drink it long enough for it to get you drunk, or I'm drunk already.
Yeah,
that's for like I'm drunk already is like the best ones.
Should be like, what the hell is this shit?
Right
like,
on.
I'm halfway through the bottle or the can, and this sucks. Starting to feel it. It's okay.
All right.
And then you get up to I'm kind of drunk. Then you get to the blackout phase.
Are you kind of drunk? No. Yeah, fair enough.
And then you get to the what the hell did I do last night with your underwear around your head phase.
Okay, fair enough. So, and that's like the tops.
That's the tops.
So if we use that scale, what would you put this on?
I would give it below the blackout phase.
Okay. Yeah, it's right around there. I mean, like I'm a sissy when it comes to beer. I really am. Like, I mean, I prefer like light beer and like lime and stuff like that. Apparently, I'm girly with beer.
You're going to love the new show coming.
Oh man, I think it's going to be
spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Slight spoilers, but you'll hear more about that in the coming weeks and months. But Harp will give you a pass.
Most absolutely.
All right, sir. So what has been new in Nick's world? Again, we haven't done this podcast in about 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks.
Because we did back-to-back wrestling podcasts, and then we had to skip last week because of the weather.
Well, not just because of the weather, because I had a HazMat course as well.
That's true. Yeah,
that's right.
Which I was
taken through the Firefighter Association.
Exactly. HazMat, for those of you that don't know, hazardous materials.
Which I bombed horribly.
Oh, no. No. Did you? Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, it's one of the things you sit in there. I thought it was 2 days.
Okay.
And it was only 1 day. So I'm like...
So you figured you go in first day, you're just like, whatever.
Yeah,
it's like the first day of school. I'll fuck around.
You kind of study, and then the second day they kind of teach you the shit.
Right.
We walk in, and the first thing out of the guy's mouth, okay, who's read chapters 1 through 3? And people from my station are like, we didn't get fucking books.
Yeah. Yikes.
And other people walking in from different stations, because other stations have been taking this as well.
Right.
They roll in with books. And we're like, okay.
Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Hello. I am Lindsay Lohan.
Lucy, you got some splaining to do, because we did not get any books.
Yeah. So
apparently you go gay Mexican waiter on them. Excuse me? I'm sorry, but we did not get any books. You have this and you like it.
So that was okay. It was a long day, though.
Yeah, fair enough.
The test at the end, it was all like, it came, I think, from either the government or something, because it was all sealed in an envelope, and you had to unseal the envelope and fold the envelope up, and inside the envelope was another envelope to put everything back in when you were done.
We're Canadian. Of course it came from the government.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Aliens.
Yeah. I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was Harper. That's basically it. Wow. So that doesn't sound super fun.
No.
So was it? So it was an actual like written test that you had to take at the end. It wasn't
it was 50 questions. Like A, B, C, or D.
Oh, so it was like Scantron and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, but still, a little bit of the stuff they didn't go over.
So
and it's worded really like it's more fucked up than a grade fucking 2 test.
Oh, fair enough.
Because they word stuff one way,
right.
and you read it because you're small and you're like, I could read.
Right, exactly.
And then it's like, what are not the colors of hippopotamuses or fucking
right.
dinosaurs? And you check fucking purple.
And you're like, oh no, wait a minute.
Yeah. And then you pass it in, it's like, no. What, you stupid?
Your child is slow. I asked, what are not the colors of dinosaurs? And this motherfucker checked off all the things that are colors of dinosaurs. Your kid should feel stupid. Fair enough. So they took the fucking Tommy Mailman approach to testing.
I think so.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
You know what? Tommy probably fucking wrote the test. Probably swings with some of the guys from the fucking HazMat department.
How you doing?
Swinger. Anyways, that's terrible.
That and I've been working a lot.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've been basically, I missed a couple of days because of training, which is
right.
Awesome, and actually has been no calls.
Really?
Which has been really nice. Yeah, the last one was on, I think it was last Saturday.
Okay.
Or the Saturday before that. It was quite a while ago. It was an SUV fire.
Quite
nice,
yeah.
Which apparently, I can tell this now because I was going to tell you a funny story about that SUV fire.
Oh yes. Yeah. Fuck, fire away.
So I got on the first truck, which is always number one pumper when we go to say like fires, like
that's what all my
fires.
That's what all my exes call me, the number one pumper.
Number one pumper, and okay, if anybody seen a fire truck before, like the pumper, like there's the front where like the driver and the passenger sit, and then there's the cab and back with 3 seats where people sit, and that's where the guy controls the pump from.
Mm-hmm.
And then in back of that is a spot for hoses that are laid in like crisscross.
Okay, yeah.
So like when you get to a fire, you can just jump out and grab one of the hoses and just yank it down. It's already connected to the water.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So everybody else was putting on BAs. I'm not trained in BA yet, but I will be soon, I hope.
Okay.
So my thing is, I get out, I put down the foot thing, go up and start like bring down the hose. Well, this hose got snagged.
Oh, jeez.
So I started to yank, and it wasn't coming. So I started to yank even more, and I lost my balance.
Oh, no.
So here I am with the hose in one hand, coming around fucking doing a Spider-Man pose. Fell down. I was just one hand on the ground and one hand in the fucking air, just like Spider-Man.
Oh, that's awesome. Did anybody see this?
Yes.
All right, good. As long as there were an audience for this, as long as people can corroborate this story. Corroborate this story. That's what I was looking for.
Oh, yeah.
Right on. So
yeah.
Nick's confirmed. Nick is fucking Spider-Man. Nailed it. Right on. But again, you were saying that you've been still working a lot. Work still Work still busy?
Work is still busy. Apparently, even when it's not busy, they have metrics that they have to fill for each hour.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even though it's not friggin' busy. So, I mean, I took overtime today and last night. Started at 9 o'clock in the morning, got to sleep at my station for an hour and a half before the first call came in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Last night, I stayed till 1 in the morning. There was hardly any calls after 10 p.m.
Nice.
So I'm just like, what the hell? It's free money.
Well, fuck, why exactly? If they're willing to keep you there and pay you,
hell,
fucking why not?
I'm not doing anything.
There you go. Exactly.
Sit at home and jerk to gay porn.
Exactly. That's pretty much the way it goes. That's actually kind of funny. That's actually kind of funny considering some of the other stuff we're going to be talking about in this podcast.
Seriously, no, it's not gay.
Seriously, no homo. I sit home and jerk to gay porn. No homo. Like, all right. Fuck. So again, like you say, your work's been kind of busy. I fucking wish I could say the same for me.
Has it died?
Oh my God, has it ever? Like, just like foot traffic in the mall where I work at is way down since the end of Christmas. I guess people are still like recuperating from the money that they spent around Christmas. And not only that, like hours have been just sucked right away. For those of you that don't know, when you run a retail chain, like when you're part of a large chain of stores, basically every week you're given a number of hours, like man hours, that you're requisitioned to use.
Right.
Aside from like your salary employees, like an employee on salary is going to get like, let's say 35 or 37 and a half hours a week every week. They get paid on a salary. So if they're not there, they don't get paid. But if they stay overtime, they don't get paid either. It's like, you're 37 and a half hours a week. We're paying you $750 a week. Done.
Yeah, done.
You know what I mean? So like that's the whole concept behind a salary employee. I'm not a salary employee. Obviously, I'm an hourly employee. I'm just a grunt on the line. And
I don't know. You're a key holder.
Well, I am.
So you're a little bit higher than a grunt on the line.
It's true. I'm a grunt on the line that knows the combination to the safe. That's about the only difference. But for all of us who are under the salary employee, we all kind of take from the same pool of hours. Now, it could be, for a store my size, it could be like 110 hours a week, 120 hours a week, 130 hours a week, and then that has to get requisitioned up between all the staff.
Right.
Well, the last couple of weeks, it's been like 105 and 100, and just the man hours are not there, even though we have a small store. You know what I mean? Like our store only employs 7 or 8 people. So, but I mean, like you take 6-7 employees and they have to share like 105 hours. It doesn't leave a lot when you have like the woman who's basically the assistant manager who has to get pretty much 25 to 30 hours a week because she's like on medical and stuff. So you got to keep a certain minimum number of hours. Yeah. You have other people that are like, I want 20, 25 hours a week who have been there for years. So they're going to get first crack at it.
Oh, sure.
Like I've been at my current job. It's actually now about 2.5 years. So the time has actually gone by. So I'm a little bit higher than the people that have been hired after me, but at the same time, the hours haven't been a lot. So I mean, I'm talking like 2 shifts a week, sometimes only 4-hour shifts. Wow. So I might only get 8 to 10 hours a week some weeks. So like, but you know, it that happens. Like it's the lay of the land in retail, and I understand that. And you usually, of course, you end up making that back in subsequent weeks where it's just like, can you throw an extra shift my way sometime? So like I'll have a week where I get 3, or I'll have a week where I get 4, and people get sick all the time. It's just the nature of retail, right?
Yeah.
But for the last little while, it's been skinny. Like the only reason I had 2 shifts last week was because a girl got sick.
Oh, really?
I only had 1 shift scheduled for 4 hours. So originally I was only going to have 4 hours last week. So it's yikes, but again, it's kind of the law of the land in retail. So
nice.
Nice. And you wonder why I live with my mom? Because I can't afford to live anywhere else. But yeah, so that's been my work experience lately. Of course, everything's still going good. And again, I bitch about work sometimes, but to be perfectly honest, I love my job. I love where I work. If I have to work retail, I love working in a place like that. And I've said it multiple times. So I can't complain too much about what goes on at work. A little bit, but whatever. The one thing I will complain about is the fact we had inventory last week, and inventory fucking blows.
It sounds like it sucks.
Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it just sucks. So what we had to do, like what we've done in years past, is we would, as a company, we would contract an outside company to come in and do our inventory for us. So then they would be in doing the inventory. We would have a few people in there to like double check their counts and make sure they're not stealing shit. Like just stuff that you have to do.
Okay.
But they would basically be doing most of the heavy lifting. You know what I mean? Like they'd be doing, quote unquote, heavy lifting. It's fucking books. But still, they would be doing most of the work. But this year they decided not to do that. So we were the ones doing the inventory. So they sent us in like the handheld machines, like the scanners and stuff that we have to use, which are actually kind of cool little machines.
Did you play laser tag with them?
A little bit. I shined it in a couple people's eyes and they weren't overly happy about it. They're just like, that's fucking bright. And I'm like, sorry. But inside I'm like, tee. Basically, because I'm 12 years old. But it was a long process. Like it gave me newfound respect for the people that do that for a living, like just do inventory. Because originally I'm just like, look at these fucks. Their whole job is counting. But it's like they're fast. Like they do it really, really quickly. And we're here just like fucking around with these machines that we've never used before. We were there until 1 a.m.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we started a little earlier than we were technically supposed to start.
Yeah.
Like we started the back room while the store was still open. Okay. Because it's like, well, no customers are in the back, so why not do this? So we started the back room early. If we hadn't have done that, we'd have been there until like 3.
Oh, wow.
Like it was nuts. So we like ordered a pizza and shit, and we were just like, oh my God, this is horrific.
Pizza is awesome.
Pizza is awesome, but that was not fun. So we got through inventory for another year, and hooray, we don't have to worry about it until next year when it's going to suck all over again. Pretty much.
That's how it goes.
But I got a big, exciting piece of news the other day.
Do you?
I did. I was super pumped about this. Everybody knows that I do like my football videos and everything on YouTube and everything like that. And I really enjoy doing them. And I've got helped to build like this, like almost like basically not almost, it's a community of other guys that do this and everything like that. And we talk all through the year and compare picks and everything like that. Well, there's one guy who has been in our chat stream a couple times before when we've been doing the podcast by the name of Gio. Gio's been on and Gio's talked to us a couple of times. Well, Gio at the end of every football season does awards for the people that do YouTube videos prognosticating football.
Yep.
And he actually goes out of his way. He pays to have trophies made and mails the trophies to people. And I fucking won an award this year.
That's insane.
Super pumped. I think I probably even mentioned it on the podcast a little while ago, go vote for me. I ended up winning the award that I was nominated for, which was the most entertaining football prognosticator on YouTube. So in the next little while, I'm going to be getting a friggin' trophy in the mail that's going to be super awesome, and it'll be plastered all over my YouTube page when I get it. Any video I do for the next year, I'm just going to have that trophy, just glory shots of the trophy just floating around in space while I'm talking about things. But I'm super pumped about it. So I want to take the opportunity to thank Gio DeFranco for doing the GioKnows Awards, for loving what we do on YouTube and everything like that. And it's super cool to win it. And I cannot wait to get that trophy. I might just carry it around with me. Like I might just walk around town just carrying this trophy. And people be like, "Why are you carrying a trophy?" I'll be like, "Let me tell you a story." So there we go. I won an award. Lest anyone question the point of making YouTube videos. Sometimes you can win awards.
More awards. Impossible fame and money.
Possible quasi fame and a check every couple of years for $100.
For $100.
But hey, $100 is $100, right? Last little thing I want to just take the quick opportunity to do before we get into some other stuff. We got a little shout out here, and it's a shout out to a guy that's been, a mutual friend of ours for quite a few years. Been a friend of mine since elementary school, I think, when I first met him. Elementary school and church, if you can believe that. Back in the days when my parents used to make me go to church.
You went to church?
I did go to church for a while. What
were you?
Lutheran.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was Anglican.
You're Anglican? Right on. Yeah. I used to go to Lutheran church like every Sunday. Like I was in Sunday school, and I was almost to the point where I was going to get confirmed. Like I was going through confirmation classes.
Oh wow.
No, I didn't. Not that I didn't want to do it. I didn't really care. I was just like, what does this do for me? You'll be a confirmed member of the church. And I was like, and what does that mean? And nobody really ever answered the question. So I was just like, all right, whatever. Eventually I just stopped going because I just didn't want to do it anymore. But this guy was confirmed by the Lutheran Church and everything like that. And he's been, a good friend of mine for a lot of years. Tyler Selig, who we're going to have on the podcast here eventually. Tyler started up his own podcast, and we love to take the opportunity to pimp other people who do these things that we do, because it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. There is work involved in it. There's research and there's getting the motivation to get up and do it every week. And some weeks it's not the easiest. It's like, oh man, do I really want to do that this week? Sometimes we get that, and everybody gets that eventually.
Yeah.
But it's a shout out to Tyler Selig for starting up his own podcast with his brother Jacob called On the Gamely. It's a play on like doing things on the daily, but It's mostly about video games, so they calls it On the Gamely.
Nice.
I like it.
I like it.
I like it quite a bit, and it's of course done in conjunction with his blog, which is a blog about video games, also titled On the Gamely. It's onthegamely.blogspot.ca, I believe, and we'll toss the link in the description there to go see that. Used to be the Gamesepticon blog, but he changed it to On the Gamely. So go check out Tyler's On the Gamely blog, and of course you'll find links on the blog to go listen to his podcast that he does with Jacob. We're going to be on his podcast at some point, I'm sure. He's going to be on our podcast at some point, I'm sure. So get out there and check it out.
Absolutely.
So what do you want to talk about, sir?
What do I want to talk about?
We got all kinds of topics on our list here.
Look at the topics.
Look at the topics. All over your face, neck, and chest.
Face, neck, and chest. That
how
good
far?
Shit.
I'm just going to take a quick check at how far. Good Lord, we're almost a half hour into this thing already. We barely talked about anything.
Fucking hell. What the hell?
I don't know, man.
Are we getting rusty?
I don't think we're getting rusty. I think we're just getting very long-winded.
We're getting really long-winded, and I'm talking more.
That's true.
That's the kicker.
I'm
talking more, and it's stretching out these motherfuckers.
And you know what? That's so good, because I'm not gonna. All right. Let's get even more long-winded and off topic. It's another fucking tangent.
Okay.
I talk a fucking metric butt ton in just in general.
Well, it's true.
And we were going on this podcast for quite some time, and I was even having, I felt like we were doing good podcasts, but then as I go back and edit them and listen to them back again, I'm just like, holy fuck, I'm just like, not stealing the conversation, but I'm just like, man, when I get going, I don't really give him many opportunities to fucking talk. And I didn't like that was happening. So nobody in the world is happier that you are saying more on the podcast than I am.
Well, I'll tell you the truth, and I'm not one for talking. So I mean, it's basically since had to be either the 18th or the 19th podcast that I actually felt comfortable.
Right.
Like, sure, we've been joking around before, and it's just us speaking our minds and shooting the shit.
Right.
But I don't normally shoot the shit and speak my mind.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah, but there it is.
Fuck it.
There you go. Exactly. But no, the fact that it's happening more makes me just makes me like giddy, like a fucking schoolgirl with a brand new vibrator. Like it makes me very, very happy and a little bit horny. That yeah, exactly. Dinner and a show. That you're talking more on the podcast, because I especially remember where like I started to feel a little bad about it was when we interviewed Sexton Phoenix, when we did that interview with Troy.
Yeah.
Or it might have been it was the interview with Troy, or it was with somebody else. But like,
might have been with the first one that we did, because
maybe
I was so conscious about the sound.
Right, yeah, trying to keep the sound going.
Yeah. That
like even when I tried to pitch it to you, you were just like, no, and you just pitched it back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck, okay, hey, let's talk about me. I'm a fat guy, and and then we just kind of go, but again, I am so glad that we're having a total bro love moment here. But I am so glad that you're talking more on the podcast. It just makes things more entertaining. If motherfuckers want to listen to me talk, go to my YouTube channel, because I'm the only one that's on that. Mm-hmm. So if you want to fucking listen to me talk, I'll talk your fucking brains out all over your face, neck, and chest, like Kevin Smith says. But here, it's good that we're getting more of a kind of a back and forther.
Absolutely.